This Halloween, Blockbuster Video has a special treat for your whole family. You can take home any of these great Halloween classics for just $7.99. Or rent 2 movies and get them for $3.99. Now, if that's not a reason to scream, what is? Make it a Blockbuster fright.
Trick or treat!
You've come for my delicious cereal called Chocula.
It's chocolatey good.
With a devilishly good chocolatey flavor and tasty marshmallows.
Wrong account. Kids come calling for my Frankenberry cereal. It's frightfully good with strawberry flavor and tasty marshmallows.
What a treat!
Called Chocula.
Frankenberry.
We like both.
You can enjoy this good, nutritious breakfast with
Frankenberry. Count Chocula.
It's Halloween, and you're invited to a little party at our house. So why not come over for a deliciously ooky hour with the Addams family?
Trick or treat!
Followed by 2 hair-raising specials featuring that very scary rabbit and some of his wit of words. It'll be a scream! Cartoon Network's Haunted House Party. Friday starting at 8 on Cartoon Network. Boom!
October on Cartoon Network is looking scary! Every Saturday, Cartoon Olio's playing 3 hours of Courage! Look out, Courage! And Cartoon Theater has scary double features with the likes of Alvin and the Chipmunks and Scooby-Doo! And to cap it off, on Halloween, we've got a 24-hour marathon of Scooby-Doo called Night of the Living Doo! With new special guests like David Cross, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and an undead Gary Coleman! Yikes! October on Cartoon Network. I've got chills!
In a Weeble's haunted house, Weebles wobble all about, and it's a real exciting place to be. A smiling ghost with glowing face has a secret hiding place, and that's not all, there's plenty more to see. Cause a Weeble's haunted house is a great place to be. Weeble's haunted house, including glow-in-the-dark Weeble ghost from Romper Room.
There's another box over there.
Dunkin' Donuts for Halloween. So good, it's scary.
Dunkin' Donuts is proud to announce we've created a monster. Introducing a haunting collection of minis for Halloween.
They're alive! Alive!
Minis are a fraction the size of our regular donuts, but they have the power to attract very interesting guests to your Halloween parties.
More sprinkles!
Ever hear of a gift certificate that turns into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what is that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1. And can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. Golden flakes encrusted with honey, nuts, and brown sugar. Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. The trouble is, they taste too good.
Radio Shack is the place people go for specialty batteries for all kinds of things. Choose from over 1,000 batteries. Radio Shack has more power. Radio Shack.
Presenting Sheer Madness, Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Thursday only till midnight. Circuit City will go raving mad with shocking reductions on hundreds of items. Save on this VHS VCR, just $169. This RCA 19-inch color TV with remote is a mere $266. Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Get there by midnight before the curtain falls.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat forever.
Smell my feet.
They won't let us go!
Give us something good to eat.
You kidnapped the 4 missing people.
Watch Night of the Jack-O-Lantern on an all-new Goosebumps coming up next on Fox Kids Monsterama Saturday. But beware, you're in for the one and only scare.
Make them one of us!
Goosebumps, Stuart!
Howdy, folks! Here's what's just off the truck at Big Lots. Wow!
Halloween's just around the corner, so pick up these spooky fright frames. Just walk past them and creepy, and just $15.99 each. And you can decorate the house with these assorted 20-inch sculpture lights. Your choice, just $4.99 at Big Lots.
One day it's this, one day it's that, but every day it's the price. Wow!
Oh, I do enjoy an evening with a little light entertainment. But when your video heads get dirty, you lose your picture. Not a pretty sight. Happily, this new Polaroid video cassette will help you. It actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes. Get the picture?
Well, it's another rip-roaring Tuesday night, and we're here for another episode of the Haunt Hour. Woo-hoo! Tonight's episode is brought to you by, yep, you guessed it, the Haunt Collective. And here are your hosts for this evening, starting with the effervescent Susie Flessick and a coffee house of horrors. Oh yeah, and Troy Crivello.
On lumber and 3-inch screws, so you can screw yourself.
And Dan Doble. He wears hats and jackets. He also likes to take pictures of his new rig. Yep, that's the best we could do here, folks. Sorry about that. But our guest tonight will make up for all that hot mess. Tonight we welcome Amanda and Dan from Scare on Stuart Street. So get your Count Chocula cereal, your VHS head cleaning tape, and your Weeble's Haunted House playset, and let's get ready for the Haunt Hour-ish.
Dan's here! Dan!
Hey, guys!
Dan's here.
I'm here.
Dan has replaced Susie as our guest host tonight.
Am I supposed to be here? I feel like this isn't right.
I don't know. You were off gallivanting with your wife last week. I don't know why.
I was doing wild ass shit that was not something that was be done in Wisconsin. So we traveled all over the place. But before we get into that, welcome everybody to another fantastic Haunt Hour, Season 4, Episode 19. Look at that. We're just blowing through this year.
Yeah.
Blowing through this year.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. What were we talking about? We're talking about my trip.
Yeah, you're gallivanting with your wife in your new truck.
We went down to Tennessee for a wedding, and we took the long way there, and we took an even longer way back. And we spent 10 days on the road, and it was awesome. Awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
How about you? How was your trip?
We've just been hanging out, doing all sorts of Halloween goodie stuff, filming award shows, doing Texas Haunters Convention, and watching Christopher hobble his way back to North Carolina. And
I feel like there's a story there.
Oh, yeah, it's a doozy of an alternator.
Oh, I saw bits and pieces of that.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah, 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours into the trip back from Texas back to North Carolina. I was driving through Louisiana, and alternator died.
Battery light came on and said, "Nope, sorry, not today. Mm-hmm. Not today. Not today. You're not getting home."
Yeah, right.
Right.
So I got stuck in Louisiana. Luckily, found a guy that was able to get an alternator and replace it the next day. So I had to stay overnight in Louisiana, and but he got me on the road the next day, luckily, and then another 14 hours, I was finally home.
There was a point where I was
on the way home than on the way there. So
yes, he made it all the way here with no problem. So that was good. That was good.
Indeed. Well, I'm glad to see that you're safe and you're home.
Yep, and fully reimbursed.
Yep. Yes, and fully reimbursed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always good. That's always good. So, speaking of fully reimbursed, Troy, I'm sure that you have some stories about the trade show convention that happened in Texas.
We do. We talked a lot about it last week, so we won't really go into it.
I would like to talk about it because.
Well, I know you were there. You were gallivanting.
You apparently had more important things to do than the haunt hour.
Important.
Okay. Anybody else want to say anything?
Oh, that was weird. How did he just flew away? His alternator died. Weird.
Next time.
Oh, where'd I go? It was all black. There was nothing around me.
A quick recap of the numbers from the show. Over 40, I believe the official number told to me was 4,600 people, which was almost a 1,000 increase from last year, and basically makes them the
second largest.
So if you want to use words, they are the largest haunt convention. They are the second largest haunt show because Transworld is a show, not a convention. But yes, they are second only to Transworld in attendance numbers for this year. Anyways, for this year,
fantastic. And I knew it was big because people weren't posting empty aisles. So,
absolutely.
So they just weren't posting anything. So,
well, and that was one of the things.
You know who you are if you're watching,
right? It happened at East Coast too, and East Coast has a better marketing thing, and Texas does need to work on that. And I've mentioned it to them before. Their social media during the show is very lacking. They need to be posting more during the show because that's what vendors and attendees use to gauge their interest for next year.
Yep.
And there were some pictures put out, but not very much, but also because there were so many people. It was very much like the East Coast show where I was talking the whole time. I actually sold tickets to the show, to the Terror Tours, which I never have sold before at a show. I've always just been information and hand out cards, which is what I expect. I never expect to sell tickets. And so we sold 10 tickets at the show. So the show was a huge success for us.
That's awesome.
And like Froggies came with all of their B stock machines, sold out in 45 minutes. Everything. They even sold one of their guns, one of the big Titan or the big fog guns.
Fog guns?
Yeah, they sold that to Purgatory Haunt down here in Houston. So everybody did very well. There were 132 vendors and 5 food trucks. Next year, they already had a waiting list of 50 more vendors, and they had to shut that down because there were more coming, more wanting to.
Is that why they moved? Because they have more vendors? It's not the more attendees, it's more vendors. Is that why they moved to a bigger location?
Well, both. They have absolutely outgrown the space. They had to move the tables, the table people out to the first ballroom, so they were on another wall, which to me I thought was going to be very bad. But they actually made you enter in through those tables and then into the main.
Everybody got touches. Yeah.
So it helped all those smaller table vendors. They were just as busy, so that was fantastic. I thought it was going to go the opposite way. I thought people were going to walk right through them and into the main hall. They did not. They've really outgrown the space. And they sold out 3 hotels. So that's too many people for that area. And the price, the price of the hotel and the parking and stuff was an issue. They were wanting to increase the cost and all that, which is, understandable. So they are going to Irving Convention Center. It's a 5-minute little commuter train ride from DFW. It's a 8-minute car ride on Uber. So it's super cheap on Ubers. I think the train is $3 and it's the Orange Line, ironically so.
So literally what you're saying is you get off the plane and you get on a train and you can go right to the hotel convention?
5 minutes. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Super easy. So for attendees, that'll be great. For vendors, they're still gonna have to drive in, but there's a lot better parking to get into the convention center for vendors. There's a whole new way to do it, and it's way better. And so everybody's gonna win on it. We are gonna lose the food trucks, which people hate, because they have a deal with the convention center. They can't have outside food inside. So which happens at all convention centers. You're not going to allow, you can have a vendor inside. And that was one of the thoughts, was that they could put the vendor inside as a booth to sell the food. Like Transworld has the Sugar Fire in there. They pay for a space to be in there to sell their stuff. So that could be a possibility, but
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Everything went well for all of us. Like Greg said, there's a lot more restaurants. And just a lot more easier access to things. And Dan is coming next year, so that'll be great. It is the last weekend in July. They were worried about it until about a day ago, because this is the same exact weekend right now that Midsummer Scream was, and they thought it was going to be the same weekend. They were handcuffed by the convention center and the hotel to that this was a one-time thing, hopefully, and they'll be back to the beginning of July after next year. And kind of you have to do that with the new contract. Kind of have to take what they give you. It'll be a good thing all around. It'll be a little bit of growing pains as usual, and that's to be expected. But we did have some really cool fun stuff that went on there. And since you weren't here last week, Dan, we do want to present you with the official award ceremony to Sean Mills, so we can absolutely embarrass him one more time. We have a special edition of the Haunt Tower. I can't talk to you right now. Very special edition of the Haunt Tower, because we have somebody very special in attendance. Very special. The one person who has watched every single episode of our show. Thank you. He has nothing better to do on a Tuesday night. I just told the movie. And watch the three of us. And Christopher now. I'm out. Talk to haunters. But we have a very special award for you. Oh, no. Drum roll? No. Is that So, we are presenting you with the Haunt Tower Most Loyal Fan Golden Panties Award. So, there's your plaque for your newly painted upstairs. It's a very nice frame. It cost me $6 at Goodwill. Nice. But we also have an actual gift. We have a real gift for you. Okay. So there is your gift. Go ahead. Oh jeez. Should I aim it at you?
Oh jeez.
No, please don't.
There they are. There they are. Turn them around. There they are.
Your wife graciously told me your size, by the way.
She's medium.
There you go.
She's like medium in the hips, but small in the back.
I was like to leave that little nugget of goodness in there.
It's amazing.
So yeah, Sean, he says it right there. There's some nice haunties.
I feel like we have to have like a little Sean doll that we put out somewhere. Just a little one. Somebody needs to make one.
No, you can actually, if you send in a picture, you can actually have a doll made that's got
that's right.
Image.
Send me that. Yeah, send me that. Yeah. I gotta find that. Send me a link for that. I gotta look into that. Because what's his name did that with his haunt character.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have our puppets that we did. We did our
we can't have that. We just have to what are those little they're like this big. We sell them at all the Comic-Cons.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
The pop figurines.
Yes, the pop figure.
Funko
Pops. The Funko Pop with wearing the haunties. Yeah.
Yes, just wearing the haunties.
Yeah. So
idea.
He was there, and it was awesome, and he wears them every Tuesday night. The plaque is in his living room, right underneath the TV that he watches us on. So I'm sure Fawn is just super excited about that.
Sean, as much as we make fun of you, we do appreciate the fact that you do come on here and you banter with us, and you're here every week. I don't think there's anybody else out there that can put up with us other than our other significant others.
Yeah, no.
So we thank you for everything that you've given us as far as a spectator.
But we do have some news, very, very little amount of news today. Let's get to that. Yeah. As we saw in the beginning of the intro, the Weebles Haunted House, you can get it for a whole cool $675.
They wobble, but they don't fall down.
They do not even in the haunted house where they're scared. You can buy the haunted house itself on eBay for like $50, and it comes with one of the little Weebles. But if you want the whole thing and the box, which I mean, it's probably worth way more than $675.
How many tripping hazards do you think are inside that Weebles Haunted House?
Probably. Well, and there's 85 small pieces that choke children because they didn't do that back then. You know, they didn't put the warning on there. So of course Kevin did. It's probably in your garage, Kevin, or your basement. So probably the other bit of news, we did have Texas. Haunts are hiring now. There's 1,000 of them that are hiring. So if you're looking for work, you want to work in a haunted house this year, go to your local haunted house.
Give them a call.
Give them a call. Call
if
1-800.
Just show up because I'm sure they need the help.
Yeah, but make sure when you show up as a haunt actor, tell them exactly what you're going to do for them and what character you're going to be and how you're going to do it. Don't let a haunt owner tell you what you're going to do in their haunt. You walk up and you say, I'm going to do this.
I mean, come with your own notebook so you can reorganize everything, including the layout.
Absolutely.
I mean, they love that.
Yeah. They love all advice and ideas. Every haunt owner loves ideas. So please.
Lots of them. Don't stop. If you think you're overwhelming, you're not.
No, just keep going.
Definitely
they lap it up.
Yes. Definitely.
Our friend, and we had him on earlier this year, Grant McDonald. He surprised us the other day. I mean, he's been showing me little pictures here and there. But he is the king of recycling. All of this is from previous haunts he's done, things around his garage that he's tried to do or he modified yet again. And he's making this awesome like Nordic hut in his display. And of course he's got to put all kinds of crazy lights on it.
Love it.
It's just what you haunters do. I swear, man. I mean, this right here, this is out of my wheelhouse. Like,
really?
What? It's just, and I love the
patronizing the people.
I know. It's just crazy. It's
It's pretty phenomenal considering all of that has been recycled. I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
At least twice. At least.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
it's like a full size Lego build.
Oh yes.
Let's tear it down and what can I make with it now?
Right. So yeah, there's that. We do have a little, and this is actually really cool. We do have a little bit of
facts
because Midsummer Scream was this past weekend. It's facts. It's gonna always be facts. Midsummer Scream was this past weekend, and I don't know the exact number, but the news said they expected 50,000 people. In 2022, it was 30,000. I cannot imagine 50,000 people in a convention center at one time. Like that seemed like as a vendor, that scares the fuck out of me.
I went to a Comic-Con and they had 40,000 people in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. The lines are insane.
Oh yeah, the only way to get into Midsummer Scream is with the Golden Bat Pass. If you don't have it, just don't go because you're not going to get in. It takes hours to get in. Now, granted, this year it was much cooler, so people were not waiting out in like 90-degree weather in Long Beach for 3 or 4 or 5 hours with no cover. Like there's no cover where you're waiting. So I'm glad that it was less hot. We're not fact checking. That's what the news said. I read like 4 different articles that said 50,000 people.
Look, it doesn't. We're just here to relay information. You go do your own fact checking.
Yeah,
Kevin.
fact check.
Go make breakfast or something.
But they did have one of the coolest walkthroughs I have seen in a convention. Or
tell me you have video.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
The game is about to begin. You are invited to the Gears of Fear.
The Ears of Fear.
So he explains that there's a bunch of different movies inside this. A bunch of different Lion Games movies are in this haunt.
So
the squeaking.
I'm just gonna pause it real quick. Who put this on? Was it a production company?
Lionsgate did put this on, and they had some help from local people as well. Lionsgate did it.
Still, remember, your journey begins.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. That's ridiculous. Somebody look up. I want to see what look up.
I know, right? Well, there isn't anything up there for sure. They do look up in a minute.
So good.
This is my Bloody Valentine. There he is with the helmet light.
Got him.
Comes through the window. That's cool.
I did like that effect.
Yeah.
The effect where the outside window.
Cabin in the woods. So yeah, because I heard from Tim and a couple other people that usually work on the Midsummer on the Hall of Shadows that they were not going to be doing a big walkthrough this year. They were going to do a lot less, and I think that was because. But they said there is something bigger coming that will take the place of it, and then they did other photo ops and things like that.
Sure.
So all the great California haunters were in attendance. Derek, from Van Oaks was there. Tim was there. Greg Packard was there.
All the haunters, were they there?
I don't know if they were there or not. I'm
sure they attended. I would be surprised.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a show I want to go to, but 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Like that seems.
What's a ticket? What's a ticket cost to get in? Like it's just a generic.
I think the Golden Bat Pass is like $150 or something like that. So it's not too bad.
That's
for
not bad.
But the hotel is pretty expensive. It's like over $200 a night. The one that's the host hotel.
Yeah, the host one.
It's right on the beach. It's got the pool with the fire pits, and you're right on the beach. It's the one you want to stay. If you're gonna go once, you need to stay at that hotel.
Yep.
So but yeah.
Then after that, I'm gonna go stay at the Holiday Inn Express down the street.
Right. You need to know somebody that's staying there so then you can get the perks, but then just go to the cheap one down the road.
I don't think there's anything cheap in LA, just so you know, guys.
No.
There's nothing cheap in LA.
So we do have a little bit different DIY today before we get on to our guest here. And Christopher's going to help us with this a little bit as well. So.
It's the DIY of the week.
So Christopher, you can kind of talk about it since you're the one that found it.
Okay. So this is actually a tool that is used. You slide it inside a piece of PVC, and what essentially it does is it allows you to get the nice curved bends in the PVC. So you'll see right here, he's actually curling the PVC with the heater inside. And it allows you to get those really nice bends, because I mean, as we all know, if you're heating up PVC using a heat gun, it can kink, and and the bends don't look as nice and clean. Like so that. with this, yeah, like that. Actually, Troy, go to the other video where it's the guy demonstrating. Yeah, this one here.
Is it just oil?
It's a heating element. And depending on, like, I got a voltage regulator with mine. And you can, that way you can control how hot it gets.
Yeah. Do you have one, Christopher?
Yes, I have one. Actually just recently got one, and I'm going to be using it to bend some PVC for some upcoming projects. But I mean, you'll see that, he basically takes it out. I mean, it's like a noodle,
yeah.
Like and so then he'll be able to go in and make some curves, kind of. Now see, in this example here, he's showing that he used the thinner, he didn't use schedule 40. He used a different thickness.
Yeah.
And so, essentially what you do is you take it in, you roll the piece of PVC so it doesn't stay on one point.
Like a rolling pin?
Kind of like that, yes. And so, like, as you can see, he's now taking it, he's bending it, and he's curving it and stuff like that. And like I said, you're gonna get a better bend with this tool than just using a heat gun. So if you're going to be doing a lot of it literally takes about 4 minutes to heat up that piece of PVC.
Which is way safer than a heat gun.
Yeah, way safer than the heat gun. You'll see he's wearing heat resistant gloves so he doesn't burn himself when he's touching the PVC. And so and so that's essentially what he does. Sean, Sean said it sounds expensive, and it can get a little high on the price side. You can get like an 18-inch unit that does half-inch PVC, and it'll run you about $99.
That's not bad.
If you go up to a 3-foot section that does half-inch PVC, you're looking at spending around $200 to $250. And then as you continue to go up, either in the size of the PVC or the length, it's going to get more expensive. Yeah. So obviously,
it looks like you could make something like this.
I mean, yeah, it you definitely could. But
is it like metal coaxial?
No, there is some type of a wrap around it. So what you see there is you'll see the blue areas, the red areas, and the gray areas. The blue areas are going to be your cool spots, so that you can, if you're going to take the piece of, take the heater element out, that would, that's going to be the cooler part to touch. The red part and the gray part are going to be your hot spots. The red areas are going to be a little hotter than the gray, but not by much. So you're just going to want to, to just handle the blue parts.
I feel like that's something you could make. It looks like a whole bunch of common pieces you can get at Home Depot.
It is, but I mean, whatever's making it inside heat up is where.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not bad for $100.
Yeah.
Now it's better than eating with a heat gun.
Yeah.
Right. Now this was another comment that just popped up, and you're absolutely right. A lot of people will use hot sand.
Elmer. You just said it before you posted it.
Yeah. So a lot of people will use hot sand and do that. For me personally, I don't have an oven that I can go and heat up the sand. And if you try to heat up the sand inside the pipe, by heating up the pipe, it's going to take forever. And like I said, I don't have an oven or a way to heat up the sand before I put it into the PVC, and I just don't want to have to worry about, especially with me, a mess that I'm going to end up creating, and it's either going to be in the house or it's going to be outside. And if it's in the house, the wife, I don't want to deal with that. So, I got the 3-foot unit, and I'm going to be putting that to use. Essentially, I'm going to be using it on a 6-foot section. I'll heat up the 3-foot one side first, get the bends and the twists in it that I want, then flip it around and do the same thing again. So
yeah. I mean, like this would be this, yeah, the gutter heater would work too. And that's essentially what this is. It's just I would guess that a gutter heater is probably gonna be more expensive than this.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of gutter heater in my garage for free right now. I'm thinking about it.
There you go. Like if people want to make the curved parts of like a cemetery gate, and they don't want to, there's lots of people that want to use, because they bend metal rod to do that. So now you can do it with this and not have to do it with a heat gun and trying to get that bend.
Get it perfect, yeah.
Yeah, you have to make a jig. You got to put a piece of wood down with all the nails and shit and route your thing through it to make hoops and stuff. This thing makes hoops right for you.
And there's and there are videos that show where you can make a jig. So if you're going to be doing a bunch of these at one time, you can make a jig, heat it up, put it into the jig, let it cool down, and you're done. Rather than heating it up, putting it in the jig, then heating up another section and putting it in the jig, and so on and so forth. And you still run into a possibility of kinks. But
imagine doing this with a damn heat gun. It'd take you forever.
Fuck that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a good job. Have the boo go do that.
Right.
Here you go. You want something to do? Finish painting up that black wall. I've got a job for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of builders that make stuff for that other holiday that we don't talk about. I mean, they make the lighted tunnels like that. That they can string the lights on, and they make the candy canes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different applications. So if you're going to be doing this and bending a lot of PVC, this product has been around for a while, and go check out PVC.
I feel like
it's the same thing.
Arsenal, Christopher, you could sell those.
Right.
I you know what? Somebody else already does.
And that's the thing is, like, me and Chris were talking about something completely different. It was about a controller he was thinking about making. And this is for the people who don't want to make or don't have the time to make, or maybe don't feel comfortable about electronics. They can just go buy this. It's the same reason Transworld exists, because all those people that buy don't have the time.
Any trade show exists.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah. They don't have the time or the want to learn or the time or the money to do it. But, because everybody knows, like, people complain about the 12-foot skeleton quality. You go fucking make one. You won't for under $1,000. Okay. So go buy it for $300 and shut your mouth. This is kind of the same thing. If you can build this, awesome. That would be great. I think there's a lot of people in our industry that could easily make this in an afternoon and for probably not very expensive. But honestly, this is absolutely for the people that can't. You
can certainly sell that all. That would sell like hotcakes in this industry at $100.
Yes.
I mean, I mean, you buy a cobweb gun for $300 now or whatever. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's a hot glue gun with compressed air attached to it. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like,
I have one. It's
awesome. Glue gun, put some air on it. Yeah, so do I. And I paid $225
and obviously, we weren't sponsored by this in any way. It was just something that I found.
Yeah.
It piqued my interest. I bought one, talked to Troy about it and stuff like that. But I actually did talk to the owner because I did have a few questions, while I was purchasing it. And I've made the comment that, he needs to bring this out, kind of like what Hot Wire Foam Factory does, where they They go to Trans World. They go to Midwest. Did they go to East Coast, Troy?
They go everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
They go everywhere for the most part.
They don't go to Texas. They need to go to Texas.
They were there last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't
But
know why. Sure.
yeah, but you know what I said? Hey, you got to go down to some of these conventions because I think you could probably do really well. So
I think that's one of the things that's missing at a lot of these conventions is tool vendors. Like these type of tools where they're useful to only it's marketed for something completely different. This is marketed for architecture, like bending pipe around for electrical or for banisters and all kinds of stuff. So it wasn't made for the hunt industry, but that's the same thing with half the shit that we use, or it's more than half the shit. It's not intended for us at all. It was never meant for us.
Speaking of never meant for us,
you're never meant for me. But you know who is meant for us?
There it is.
The Scare on Stuart crew. They're meant for us all night long. What?
That was so smooth. So smooth.
That was, you know what, Troy? That was a better transition than you had last week.
You're welcome.
Well, Sean Mills is the one that told me to say that, so blame him.
Last week was good too.
There you go.
Welcome, Dan.
Hello.
Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. I feel like this episode is tailored for us because he's a master plumber, and we just went to Midsummer last weekend. So
it's perfect. Yeah,
we got it.
Yeah,
it's like we didn't talk before or something.
I know.
It's so weird.
I don't know how you made it out of there alive, but
we had gold bat passes.
There you go.
See, there you go.
We actually submitted. They were trying to get more home hunters in, and so you could pitch your haunt to them, and we won gold bat passes for it.
I do remember that. They still give out free passes to home haunters.
It was
It's
very cool, but like you said, it was so geared not for home hunters. Like it was just overall Halloween horror, which was super rad.
Yeah,
but There, I agree. It would be cool if there were more tools or props or prop building or things like that.
Yeah, that's why we don't really consider Midsummer Scream a haunt convention. It's a Halloween horror sci-fi show. It's it's in our industry only because we have a lot of vendors that go there that sell to those companies. A lot of the theme park people go and stuff like that. And we have a lot of haunters that attend it, and so we consider it one of ours. But if you're if we talk about conventions, that's not one of them, But
yeah,
it
was fun though. It was a good time.
Had a good time.
Yeah. Already, wait. Now that's the same last name. That's just pandering. That's pandering.
Hi, Mom.
That's Mom.
It's Mom.
That's awesome. Biggest fan.
That's adorable.
Yep.
This one's biggest fan. Favorite child.
So, guys, Scare on Stuart, obviously, home haunt.
Yep.
If you guys watch the show, we usually go back in time.
Yep.
When you guys first found your love for Halloween and haunted attractions. Can you guys give us a little peek inside where you guys got your start? What triggered you guys to love this wonderful industry?
So I think I've watched the show pretty avidly, and I would say that we're probably very different than most of your other haunters because there's 8 years between us.
Yep.
And so we joke a lot that we had like different childhoods because there was such an age gap. So we did Halloween and stuff when I was a kid, but when he was a kid, there was less of that. So I am the Halloween person. I love the horror movies and the haunting and the spirit of the season. And he is a builder, and I
love to build.
Like, I don't think we could do anything. I don't think we could do anything without Dan being there. But I also think that's a big reason why we don't necessarily do a scare haunt, because at the core, it's like a builder's spirit.
Yeah, I mean, so when I started doing Halloween, obviously, when I was a kid. But for me, like, the inspiration behind it, it's not that I didn't enjoy, like, scary movies or things like that, but really it was an outlet to build something, right? I enjoyed putting stuff together and building different contraptions and trying different things, using new technology, like an electric pipe bender sounds really cool, right? But like, you know, getting the chance to build stuff was my outlet, right? And so that's what brought me into it. Instead of from the scare side, right?
Yeah, so I bought where I live now about 9 years ago, and he moved in here 5 years ago. We should have discussed this ahead of time. 5 years ago, and we did like one, just like random shit that we had, set it up, dug fog lines in the front yard so that we could have fog coming up from everywhere. And 2020 is when it really escalated because people were talking about not going out, not trick-or-treating at all. And so we're both in construction. So there were a lot of extra materials around. And that was the first year we did the big pirate ship. And it has just, from there.
What you were just sitting around and you guys said, hey, let's start putting stuff out in the yard. Like, was there a catalyst of, we didn't do anything last year, but we're going to do it this year?
So what it was like when I've been doing it for a while. When I lived at the previous house, I did it there, and I ended up setting up and building. This started out small. It was like a 20-foot T-Rex in the front yard that like was animatronic.
Yeah, just small.
Yeah,
small
just stuff. Yeah, and so it was cool.
20 feet. You got to start somewhere.
I started with like the Lego Mindstorms kit, right? And so I used Lego Mindstorms to control my contraptions. So there was like motors controlling like wires, which are controlling much bigger things, pneumatics, right? And so, you know, it was very hokey and very not okay from like a safety standpoint. But like, it was fun, right?
Lego motors aren't safe?
Maybe not when you're using them to smash two wires together as like a switch, you know. They make.
But did it work?
Yes, it did.
But did you die?
Exactly.
No one got hurt.
Nobody
that I
got
know
hurt.
Of, so
nobody complained.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I think
when I moved in,
that's
when I was like, I enjoyed doing Halloween. I was like, let's do it up. And so we progressively just kept ramping up over the years.
I think one of my biggest complaints here too. So we live in West Denver in it's an awesome pocket of town, but it's just lower than median income. And we don't have sidewalks and we don't have street lights. And so there were no trick-or-treaters at all. And that bummed me the fuck out, like big time. So the first year we did it, I want to say how many, there were like 10 kids. I think we got 10 trick-or-treaters. And I was so pumped, you guys. That was like more trick-or-treaters than anybody in the neighborhood had gotten in like many years.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay. And now we've got, you know, more than 10. But that was the big thing.
Last year we hit 1,000.
Yeah.
So,
which was
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So we keep a ticker and actually have a person ticking. So
a couple people.
Yeah. Couple people throughout. Oh yeah, there you go. That was
2020.
Yeah, that's the first Pirates.
So did you in your first encounters with each other, did Halloween and haunted attractions come up? Like, or was this hey, hi, and then this was just oh wow, you do that? Like, how did that?
Siblings
related. Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we had that conversation when he was really little.
Yeah. No, yeah. We had a lot of fun just throughout, right?
So when did you guys first start doing this kind of stuff? Like, was this, I mean, we talking like 8, 9?
So I was probably like
12.
Yeah, he was building stuff at our folks' house.
Yeah, and it was like I said, it started out as like just building something random, and then like I think one year I had a wench, and that was
the hanging guy.
Yeah, I had a winch that pulled up a mannequin and stuff, and lights and stuff that flashed, and we did Slenderman because that was really big at the time.
Yep. I remember when you guys did that. That was concerning.
Yeah. So it was a different kind of haunt back then, though. When we started,
that was more like a display, a yard display versus What we do now is like fully interactive.
Oh yes.
Walkthrough kind of situations.
It's immersive.
Yeah,
Damn
that
it.
word. Immersive.
Yeah, we go for that. Well,
yeah.
What we really went for is as the years went on, we wanted to like gear towards our audience more, right? And our audience, frankly, is like 8-year-old children.
Kids.
So
Sure.
we have like, young kids. So we needed to get away from scare things and into like fun, immersive things that they can enjoy. You know.
That was fun.
So do you guys ever get any grief from the city?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what? Yeah. That's the was it? It was the year before last year.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years ago, we had a much bigger pirate ship. And it was there's the Carnival one. That's fun.
Yeah, we didn't have problems with Carnival.
Yeah, well, they probably just didn't catch on fast enough. The other pirate ship had a much taller mast than the
You'll
last
see
one.
it after this one.
Yeah, and it was basically like I think 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was way tall, and then the front of the ship overhung the like into the street by about 5 feet.
But no, it was like the width of a car. So
Yeah.
if you parked a car on both sides, you never would have seen it.
But
And I'm
anyway.
90% sure it was a whiny ass neighbor. It's fine. I'm fine.
Not bitter.
Not
So
bitter at all.
The city came out, but because
Like 4 times, you guys.
because we set up and take down so fast, they gave us a 2-week period in
warning.
order to like
Perfect.
deal with it. Right, the warning time.
Right.
Took it down by the end of the 2-week period, so it was no big deal.
By the 4th citation, the guy came out and he was like, "Look, I know. I just like here." So we put him in a little like a book in page protectors where we do the candy, and so that people could like go through and flip through our citation book.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So how big is the 2021 haunt? I mean, I saw a tent. Like
let's see. I think.
Okay,
it
so
was-
that one there was the tent, but then the big top, that one was only 25 feet, I think.
Oh, you're talking about the mast.
So,
I thought he
space?
was asking how big.
Is this in a driveway?
yes.
Well, it's the whole front of the house, so
Yeah, front-
driveway and a little bit of the yards, well, all the yard space.
I have a little tiny, little baby front yard and a fairly good sized driveway.
Right.
But so far, yeah, everything's in the front. I know some people go bonkers and do it like inside their house and
Yeah,
you know, in through the backyard and all that crazy stuff. But we
Yeah, but
haven't.
you're going bonkers with all the water.
But there is my front window for my living room, and we do strip out the
That's
front
awesome.
window.
Yeah, yeah, we took the windows out, and
So we do that every year now.
yeah.
That's actually pretty effective.
So that year, you may notice there's a pipe right there,
Yeah.
sticking out. That year we had not just because we do like full size candy bars, of course, but we do cotton candy, right? And we also that year gave out gluten-free funnel cakes.
So it was our last minute pseudo
Those
venting
in
outside.
exhaust? You see
Yeah.
exhaust?
That was our exhaust.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, worry about that mast hanging 5 feet over in the driveway, not the exhaust vent running.
Priorities. That guy was not a mechanical inspector, that's
Just-
for sure.
Just don't tell anyone. We'll be fine.
Nope, your secret's safe with me, Dan.
Oh, I forgot the house used to be yellow. My house is black now.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm right.
Right.
With a
Was
hot
that-
pink
was
door.
that- was that-
Rightfully so.
Was that intentional in as far as Halloween for it to blend in, or just because you love black?
Yes.
I
Yes.
believe her words were, I want to have the
Yes.
biggest house in the neighborhood.
I
think
did.
you should keep the house black.
And
we won't say anything else.
I have some, so I'm in construction and I have a friend who does painting and she was like, my guys aren't busy today. We'll come paint your house for $1,600 if you want. I was like,
Sure.
Yes.
yes,
We'll see you here.
great.
Black
Yeah.
it is.
Yep. It was exciting. And it is actually Trinsic black, which is the blackest black that you can get on the market without being like an artist getting a special one.
Oh, right.
The
Just
bottom
in
is
case
black.
you were wondering. There we go. This will be the big ship.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite year, actually, out of everything.
Are you guys in a subdivision? How does it look like?
No,
Or is
no
it more
HOA,
like
no
weird,
subdivision.
like
We're
city?
surprisingly close to like Denver, but we're still out a little bit. So it's still kind of like
Oh, that fucking blue light. Thank you for not giving me shit for having all my stuff in portrait too. Like when I started making videos, it was because I saw there was the submission for the collective competition.
Nothing
And
vertical.
so I didn't know at the time I was filming. I found out about that whole thing months
That's
later.
okay.
So I'm gonna be so much better this year.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. That's actually how I found you guys. Was I was watching the videos because me and Christopher don't judge anymore, so we have to watch the videos on our own. And so I always watch the display and the walkthroughs for sure first, and because then I can find guests as well. And so I found you guys, and I was like, oh, we gotta have you guys on the show.
It's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Because we're getting to the thousands of balloons in a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Did you guys pause that, Troy? Hold on. Back it up to the beginning of that cave. How did you make that, or is that actually real rock?
So we made the rocks out of a pink foam and a hot wire knife, right? Classic. And then we did some theater techniques, right? Both of us are in theater, so like textured it up, and I think we even added some like glow in the dark stuff to it too.
Yeah, we did some glow in the dark. We painted the rocks, but not the castle walls.
Yeah, the castle walls we did on I have a CNC. It's actually a really cool CNC. It's a Maslow. They're the ones that are vertical instead of horizontal, and they're very affordable. And so it uses a router, and it can do a 4x8 sheet of sheet goods, and you can CNC stuff out. So I use that to do the foam. Cut the lines, and then I use the hot knife to do the texturing. So
impressive. It looks very realistic.
I have a separate video that's just on the castle walls, actually, that I'm sure you've already seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
then if you go back in that sort of the stone cave, then the kids could pull it out, but they set it up on a contraption where it was magnetic. So the guy who was in the cave could decide who could pull the sword out and who couldn't.
Oh.
So if you pulled the sword out, you got to see the queen. And if you didn't, you got put in the gallows.
Yeah.
Which kids really enjoyed doing to their parents, as it turns out.
Yep.
Right.
It's good photo opportunity. That's when you don't have a lot of scares, what you kind of go for, right, is photo opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Along with the interaction, you want something for, I'm going to take a picture, right, with my kids.
Well, and Halloween should be an experience, whether it's scary or fun or silly or creepy and fun. Halloween is an experience, not a. It doesn't have it does not have to be scary. Mine's not going to be scary. I'm going photo op just like you guys. You guys go walk through and photo ops, but mine's not going to be scary. Mine's Frankenstein's lab in a graveyard. It's not scary at all.
So cute.
But everybody's going to have a good time.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that was actually going to be one of the questions that I was going to ask, is that, and it's actually been something that's been discussed within the Home Haunter Award show, is it a haunt if there are no scares?
Right.
Because we've had a couple of people that have submitted videos for, it was a fairy tale, but it was twisted in a way. But it was a walkthrough, and they didn't have any scares.
Oh my god, the gal who does that whole storybook with the dragons.
Yes.
Her display, that walkthrough is sick as fuck, and it's not scary, but it's like that's magical AF happening over there.
I guess it depends on how broad you want to go. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to be so definitive, right, as to narrow what you're doing?
It's hard
or do
because
you
it's called
kinda,
a haunt. Like,
right.
we need a better word is what we need. We just need a better.
There just be a unique subset. It's an
attraction.
Yeah.
An attraction. Yeah. We call ourselves a whimsy haunt.
If it entertains,
yes,
it's an attraction, because that's what we are. We're entertainers. We're not haunters. I mean, we are, but what you're doing is if
I
you
like
can
that.
scare one person and everybody else laughs, you've entertained the whole group. You're entertainers.
Yeah.
You're in the
Yeah,
entertainment business.
and I've always said it doesn't matter if you're whimsical. It doesn't matter if you're, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold on. Middle Earth, or King Arthur or something like that, and you build it and you do a walkthrough. That's Halloween. Halloween is dressing up in a costume, so and entering into a world of fantasy. It doesn't matter if it's
I like fantasy.
it doesn't matter if it's fantasy, or it doesn't matter if it's horror. It doesn't matter if it's a gory slaughterhouse. It's all the same. It's all a haunt. And so that's one of my answers to that question. When it's been brought up in the past. So I like the answer. You're entertainers, but at the same time, you're still a haunter in my mind.
Christopher, I'd like to point out that Dan's TikTok is glitter and gore.
Oh, that's actually mine.
Oh, that's yours. Okay. Christopher loves glitter, by the way. Just letting you know.
I'm leaving now. I'm I'm leaving. I don't want to be here anymore.
This is the one that I'm excited for Dan to watch, because this is right up Dan's alley of being super unique, and everybody in the audience as well.
Excellent.
All steampunk, but this is what blew me away. Like, I could not stop watching this.
I love that you say that.
While we're talking about this, how much of it do you recycle, like from year to year, and where the hell do you put all of it?
So you saw the storage facility in the beginning, right? You have a storage locker. I always say it'd be the funnest thing on Storage Wars, because somebody would buy that thing, open it up, and it'd be full of just old fence panels and like foam panels that are just so worthless to them, right? But we have that thing stocked full. I mean, it is full.
I forgot about that shot. That is so cool.
So we had over 12,000 balloons in there.
1,200.
Sorry, 1,200. That's right. And
we did save all of those too.
Yeah. She's recycle clean right here. We actually reuse a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'd say 90%.
Yeah. Well, and actually,
we recycle the water as it goes through too. So there's
So it's not just that. We both work construction, right? And so we actually are pulling old material that they throw away off the job site.
dumpsters all the time.
Yeah, and we pull that and use it.
Haunter,
right?
Staple.
So
look at that kid jump. I haven't watched this in a minute, obviously.
It is. I'm gonna post it up on our pages because it's
massive.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, we used treadmills for the ball contraption, so that way it pulls the balls back up and then they go back.
Dude, this is fucking amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. Nothing a little ominous about putting treadmills in a tree and then on your roof and whatever. It's fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember, there's that one pole that was hanging over 5 feet. Treadmills.
Exactly. Right. There's that one thing.
Yeah. So we had it was fun too, because this is a good shot for it. We actually had them crisscross. So they entered one way. We had two gates that kind of flip-flopped on each other, right? And so the paths crossed over each other. We alternated, of course. And that gave us more space, because you can see in the picture, it's a perfect shot of the yard, how much space we have to work with.
There's not much space.
It's limited, right? So everything's planning. It's got a spot.
It is like a mousetrap. Yes.
Did you guys
like a game mousetrap? Yes.
submit this for the Home Haunter Awards?
Yes.
What up?
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Is fucking awesome.
I
don't remember if I submitted this one. I know we did the overall, and I think I did. I don't remember. It was my first time making videos, so.
No, but what I will tell you from a ex-judge's standpoint, one of the biggest things about especially prop building videos is the whole beginnings, how you made it, what your process was. Not long and drawn out. I don't want to see 30 minutes. I want to see
Right.
concise. I mean, this video here is 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and you cram all of it into it.
I'll be honest. But when I was a judge for the Home Hunter Award, if it was a vertical video, I didn't even watch it. But like, and because I'm a big non-vertical video guy,
right?
This I can't stop watching it because it's so intriguing.
I know. I love it. The treadmills on the roof.
Yeah, they were really, the cool part was the balls went backwards.
Yeah.
So because they're tracking on the top, it rolled backwards up, and it was just a fun visual. I feel like
You got to put like fluorescent lines on it, spiral
we
lines.
had lights
just
on
wait.
the end. Yeah,
Just wait.
when it was
Of course.
Yeah,
Naturally. That'd be lit.
dude.
We do.
Oh, there you are, stringing them up.
We do Govee lights is a brand. I'm sure you
Yep.
They're so great. God, I love those things.
Yeah.
Yep. I have them on my house now. I love them.
Yeah. They're just they're nice because you can set them to chase, you can set them to music. I mean, they're the best.
Because we've had on the gentleman from New Jersey, the 13 Skeletons, that he's done a Rube Goldberg machine as well in the past, and you guys basically did a reverse one where it went the opposite way.
Right.
I was like, they're going up, like a ball is going up hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So awesome. It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Now what is with the balloons? Like what was the
So that's our airship. So that front bit.
One or what?
Oh.
God.
Oh, okay. I'll sit back.
Give a mouse a cookie. So the initial thought process was we wanted to make sure that we had a flying machine or a flying contraption. We talked about doing a hot air balloon, tried to source one, couldn't get it, and then tried to figure out like how we would heat it up and make it safe. And so kind of tossed that aside and decided to take inspo from up and do this whole situation. We used Mylar balloons because they are deflatable and reusable. So I think all in total, I recycled 12 and I lost 2. And the rest of them are deflated and I have them to reuse them. And
Tell me you guys are doing this again this year.
We're not doing, no, we're doing a totally different theme again this year. Yeah.
Yeah, they change it every year.
Dude, but that shot right there is epic.
I know, right?
Our brother-in-law has a drone and I was like, dude, some of the shots he got were just insane.
Yeah.
And this was really sick and then it got really cold.
Denver.
And we had a bummer couple of days.
Oh, because it's so cold.
So what did you do with the balloons? Did you leave them out there? Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna store them, Dan? Where are you gonna put them?
I don't know. That was my question. It's
Where's
like,
it gonna go?
worry about like high winds or.
There were definitely some winds. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That it crashed. Nice.
Yeah. And then thank goodness that it started to get nice again. So
Yeah, we ended up big blowers, right? And then washing it and like, oh no, we did
helium.
And then they did, yeah, had to reinflate. So
on a 50-foot lead, so we could get it all reinflated.
It's so awesome.
I wish at the end of this I would have had the forethought to get them down. We hauled them up and over the roof and in through my sliding glass door in the back. And my entire house, the entire house was filled with balloons.
It was wild.
Yeah,
And then it took like, I don't know how long I spent literally deflating every single one of them, but I couldn't figure out I had headaches for like 4 days.
Oh,
and I'm like, what is going on?
So it also
So weird when you inhale helium for a week.
you don't realize they're Mylar, right? So I was like, why is it hot in here? It's so hot all the time. It's like just insulation all on the front.
That was another cool drone shot that Jack got.
Dude.
Yeah. Wild.
So fun.
I mean, it looks like nobody else anywhere for miles and miles does anything for Halloween except for you guys.
So you can see if you look a little bit over, which way I hate this camera being in reverse, but a little bit toward our logo, you can see our neighbor 2 houses down has a cute little graveyard display. But this is what I mean. There's no street lights. There's nothing, which is kind of a bummer usually, but
Perfect for us.
Halloween, it's
You need
rad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, and like I lived on a street in Oregon that had a street light, but it was more of a moonlight hue.
Oh.
So it wasn't bad for my graveyard. Then I moved to Texas, and out in the new parts of Texas, or the rural areas that are now getting neighborhoods, they don't put street lights up. There's 0 street lights out here at all. And so we get here, and I'm like, my road has no street lights. This is going to be amazing. My graveyard's going to look awesome. And then I remembered I have to light up now everything. You can't see a lot of stuff that I took for granted with the moonlight from the street light. So when people say, "Oh, I don't want a street light," just be warned, you're going to have to light up even more than you did before.
Yes.
And now, granted, I don't want somebody with those super bright white ones, or like the really bright LED ones. Those ruin it, or like ones where it's right in front of their house and it's all it washes the whole thing. Yeah, that sucks. But I did not realize the difference of not having a street light, and then now thinking, "Oh God, now I have to do more work that I wasn't doing before," and I took for granted.
And I'm still learning about lighting. He's definitely like lighting in tech, but especially last year, it was like we were gifted some theater spotlights.
Chuck E.
And I'm like,
Cheese.
oh, it was Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we gonna do with these? And because we had like multiple bins, and he throws them all up, and that it looked like a freaking beacon. You could see it from blocks away. Just this huge, really well lit,
That's awesome.
thing of balloons, net of balloons.
Yeah. So awesome.
A piano fountain.
Yeah, you guys use a lot with water, and I love that. I mean,
Bummer.
Can't not, right? I mean,
right? Have you run into any problems with the water?
So, I mean, none that I can't deal with, right? That's always the trick. It's like when you're a plumber, okay, your pipes freeze because it was freaking cold. Actually, these ones did have some fun, but I can thaw them. Like I know how. It's not a big deal.
And he put in hot water hose bibs.
Yeah.
So my front hose literally has hot and cold.
It's a good idea in general. Plumbing talk, but get a hot water hose bib. That is so worth it.
For those who don't know what a hot water hose bib, would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, because in Texas, we just have hot water coming out of our hoses anyways.
Right, all the time.
Fine, yeah. No,
you get it for free.
You're power washing your car, you're power washing your driveway. I mean, all these things, you could just have hot water come out, and it makes things so much faster to clean them and all that. It's worth it. They have hose bibs that have both. Yep. So you just
or if you need to spray down your frozen piano.
Right. Naturally.
Obviously.
I hate when that happens.
The piano fountain actually has been kind of a staple.
Right.
We've had that for a while. I made it a while.
2020.
Yeah, ago. And we've used it, and this was its last year. This one.
It finally cracked.
We made a new one, and the new one is so pretty.
The new one is staying in my backyard. It's beautiful.
It's so pretty.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty epic.
I know, I love that.
It's definitely something that I could see year round in an eclectic garden. You know what I mean? Like it's super cool.
Exactly what we did. Yeah, it's an upright now, so we did an upright, and you can see the internals, and it is gorgeous.
I'm just thinking about the safety of that.
We did have an incident with the water and electricity, and I turned off once I realized nobody got shocked, but there was a moment with the lights. We weren't using waterproof lights underneath that, and I had to get those shut
Got a little buzzy.
So
was it an aha moment?
It was for me.
I know this is gonna happen, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
The lights were fine until the freezing started. And so once I went out there and saw that it was freezing and tried putting my hand in the water, I found out pretty fast. So,
yep.
Trial and error sometimes.
Yep.
Is how that goes. But yeah. This is the other one I submitted.
Yeah.
For the prop.
Okay.
Upcycled prop, I think.
Okay. Okay.
It's an old fridge. And then a drop tray. That one was good. The kids loved that one.
Yep.
We thought so. The sword thing was so good. We were like, oh, we should have the kids do more, right?
Keep it interactive, super
and
interactive.
so in the same sort of space, we put a coal shoveling thing. So we made the children shovel coal for the steampunk town.
It was great. And then at one point it broke. And so our actor who was in there was so clever. He'd have them shovel in and then he would be like, stop, it's too much. It's going to blow. Shovel it out. And then he'd have them shovel it back out. So the next kid could shovel it back in. And that's the power of having actors.
Right.
Yep.
Speaking of actors, how many do you generally have on Halloween?
12.
Yeah.
There are 12 of us.
12
in general.
Yeah.
And
how much is family?
Our folks. It's us and our folks.
So,
and then we have
by folks she means two. And then we have our brother and brother-in-law who do some film stuff, right? And so they come in and film things. And then we
and the rest are friends.
Yeah, a lot of people have really helped us though. And it's cool because we get volunteers, so it's just awesome.
Thanks, Mom.
Has Mom ever said you're gonna do what?
Sometimes, yeah.
Every year. Every year usually.
I'm always trying to push the envelope, and people around me make sure that I don't push it too far. So
the irony is that he's also the one that wants to push the budget. So
there's that bad word again.
I know, right? Ew.
I know.
Yeah, we did say you could say bad words, but not that one. Oh, there he is. Yep, he's gonna do it. Get it in there. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That is priceless.
We did scare. That was scary for some kids though, because they go into this room that fog came through, right?
Yeah.
And
I see.
A little bit scary.
That got them a couple times. So.
But I mean, that's what I love about, and it's definitely becoming a bigger thing, especially with home haunters, is I think not that people are getting bored with just building a walkthrough and there's drop panels and somebody scares you and blah, blah, blah. I think haunters are saying, okay, we've done that. What's next?
Right.
And there seems to be a large amount of home haunters that are going more towards the interactivity. And I think it's mainly because the parts are getting so cheap. And the DIY stuff on YouTube, there's nobody telling us no, which is great. It's like I hated that the 12-foot witch, she has the little sensor in her chest or wherever it was, and it was too far away in my yard for anybody to trip unless they were going, And so I literally just took some wire. I just extended the try me button out, put a button on, in a box. And I put it on my fence, and kids walked up and pressed the button.
Oh, fun!
And made her talk. And I was like, "Oh, it was
fantastic."
It was the same feeling I got when I made my first scare back in 2006. I was like, "Oh my god, this is the coolest thing! They can do stuff."
Yeah.
And they every kid
they
love
it.
Yes.
They love it.
So we were at
I definitely think that the interactivity of home haunts is really the next thing, and it's what every haunter's going to try to do, is because there's so many cool things to buy, but if kids are just looking at it, they're like, okay, well, I saw that at the last house, especially like with all the Home Depot stuff. Everybody's got a 12-foot skeleton. Well, what does yours do that the neighbors doesn't do? Well, mine talks, mine moves, or you can press a button.
Does yours really move?
So then your house becomes cooler, even though you have the same prop. Right. Your house is now better.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of
skeleton move.
No, my skeleton does not move. I'm not that talented yet.
No. Like what?
No.
We were at the Midsummer Scream, and one of the booths, they had buttons, so they had like a bar area for the people to come and just hang out, and their haunt went around it. Well, they had buttons to hit the air and the little snap triggers in the event
in the bar.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's such a great idea, just to get people to hit a button to scare people.
We had the guy in Portland. There's a guy who does a Star Wars display.
Oh, yes.
for Halloween, and we've had him on the show before, and he literally, that's his whole thing, is I want buttons everywhere for people to press. You can make the Jawas talk.
This is so cool because you can like walk into eat. It's like you're flying the damn shit.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's rad. Yeah, it's a cool display.
So, I applaud you guys for leading, being one of the leading charges of interactivity. That's really the main reason I picked you guys, that I wanted you on the show, was because of how you present your haunt is very different. Like you said, it's not scary. It's fun. It's an experience. It's interactive. It's something everybody else will never see that again. They will never see something like that again. It's once in a lifetime thing. And I love that you guys continue to change it too. Because it keeps everybody creative,
Yeah, right. Right.
So I think actually we since Susie's not here, I will let Christopher do this.
Question of the week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What haunt technology are you grateful for?
Oh, well, I would say, so we said Gobi, which I think is, those lights are freaking awesome. I use a lot of Alexa in my stuff. So a lot of things are already like Alexa compatible. You can set up routines. So doing that, you can use Alexa as kind of like your smart board, right? You go on your phone, you hit a button, or you get those remote switches to trigger a routine, which is what I do for a lot of my automation when it comes to like the cannon firing or the water firing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just set up routines and hit a button. So Alexa.
Yeah.
The house robot.
Yeah, mine is definitely mine would definitely be automation too. It definitely, all the smart switches, having them all on one app, which is sometimes hard to do. I've got some of my, the LED floodlights. You're taking a crapshoot when you're buying those from Amazon because some of them use Smart Life and some of them don't, and you're like, so I have to like go through all the reviews and look through the try to find where they say Smart Life. Somebody in a review will say Smart Life, and I'm like, yay!
Big fan of Smart Life as well. Yep.
Yeah. I use that, and I've shared it on here before. I have a how-to of how to automate your projections. So to make the projector actually turn on, you're replacing the remote. And that technology, to me, the whole automation is where, and that goes along with the interactivity. You need that automation step part of it to do the interactivity as well.
Yep.
But it's affordable too. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah. What about you, Christopher?
I'd have to say it's the PVC Bend It tool because I mean it is just.
I'm with you, Christopher.
You better get a sponsor code for that, sir.
Haunt Hour sponsored by Bend It.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm poking the bear, kind of. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I'm trying
to get that influencer code.
There you go.
Right. Exactly. So my technology, I would have to say, are wiper motors. Because I do a lot of I've used wiper motors in a lot of stuff that I do, and it's like, it's amazing what you can do with these things.
I think that's a required piece of equipment if you are in the Chicago haunt builders. Like, you can't be a home haunter unless you have a wiper motor. Like every one of their make and takes has a wiper motor in it.
Has a wiper motor, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just every haunt there has something wiper motor in it. It's so awesome.
Rad.
When the Garage of Evil was around, it was requirement to to have something with a wiper motor.
With a wiper motor. I wish we had something like that here because we don't have like there's the Chicago Build Association or like Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Or they have these like smaller collectives, and we don't have one of those here. And I was really pushing for the dudes from Wicker Manor to like start one because they have the following, but alas.
I think I made, and it was a joke, and I can't remember why I made it. I do a lot of jokes and a lot of crazy bits. And I actually think there is, and I'm actually looking it up right now. a Colorado Haunters Association. And I think I started it just as a joke.
Oh,
Really?
Okay.
I was gonna say, look into it.
Of course you did, Troy.
But I can't remember why.
That's so mean.
I know. And like everybody was like, "Oh, we want that." And I was like, "Oh crap, I think I started something." Whoops.
Pass it off and move along.
Right?
Right? I am not finding it right now, but
Yeah.
Troy,
because
what
there's a lot of,
technology?
killer people out here.
I said automation, like doing the smart apps
Smart life.
with like smart lights and stuff like that. He said Alexa. So
Yeah, I heard that part. My internet dropped out. Definitely grateful for internet.
Right? Maybe I deleted it. I think I deleted it because people were like, "Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's do this." And I was like, "No, it's fake." But maybe you guys should start one.
Yeah.
There's a I don't know. There's a page called Colorado Haunters.
I've seen that, but I don't think it's like
active.
Oh yeah, there's the Colorado Haunters community, and then there's Colorado Haunters. Oh no, there it is. I found it.
Yours?
It's an April Fool's joke. That's what it
Wow.
so mean.
Colorado Haunters Association.
Wait, there's 5 people in it. Michael Edwards is in it.
Is Leonard Pickle in it?
No, Leonard Pickle's never allowed in it. But
There's
yeah,
a couple of them too where like somebody tried to create one that was like Mile High Haunters group, and it's just like a Facebook group where people share memes and shit, which is fine, but it's just not.
Yeah, but that's not useful.
It's not like a Haunters. Yeah, it's just a Facebook group.
Well, Troy, maybe you should give this group over to, I don't know, maybe somebody in Colorado that might want to, have an association there.
Well, it says I have to join it.
Hit up Wicker Manor.
I'm not a member anymore. I'm not a member anymore.
You're not a member of the group we created?
I got kicked out. I got kicked out of my own group.
That's incredible.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No. Well, hey, you know what? People are posting in it, so.
Oh God.
That is fucking epic. Right under the April Fools, which is even better.
Brutal.
Well, CHA for sure. I may have made it a joke against the Canadian Haunters Association because theirs is CHA.
Yeah.
They're only slightly larger than the Colorado Haunters Association anyway. So
by 3 people.
But there you go. I mean, it's already there if somebody wants to take it. I don't know who owns it anymore.
We'd have to figure out how to sign in and like
slide into Troy's DM. Get it while you can.
Can you join it?
Wait. Michael Edwards. Oh no, I added Michael Edwards, so it must have been another joke between me and Michael because me and Michael have done jokes for the last 3 years together. So makes sense. Okay.
Dang.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Well, opportunity awaits.
Right. They
there you go.
Have to move to Colorado. No, I have a video of how to create Haunters Associations and their maps as well. So if anybody wants to know, I have videos on that. I actually gave a talk at HauntCon in New Orleans about how to make Haunters Associations in your area. Because I used to run the Northwest Haunters Association, and it's still running strong, and it's super fun.
That's very cool. It seems like it'd be a lot of work.
It was, but it was fun. And when work is fun, it's not work.
Yeah.
So. But I think it's, what else is fun? Playing with fire. It's super fun.
See what you did there.
In here, like Mylar Balloon Hot. Oh, I should have done Mylar Balloon Hot. Damn it! There it was.
Well, there you go. Missed opportunity, Troy.
It floated away.
Mark it down. You know what? I'm just going to put, I'm going to put missed opportunities on our little hash marks up here. See how many of those I get at the end of the year. I need a bigger sheet.
Well, if you're starting the list at the end of July, you'll probably be fine.
That's true. That's true. I'm good. All right, Dan, take it away.
Oh, I thought I was going to get an intro.
I did.
Your intro.
No, I mean like the rapid fire question.
It's right there.
It even had
You
fire.
wanted more?
He wanted more fire.
More
Right.
fire.
Can you guys hear me fine?
Yeah.
For you when you're not muting yourself.
I'm
Did
not.
you
muting
not see the
myself at all.
intro?
No, my internet has decided to say fuck off tonight. So
Oh.
Well, you're ready to go.
if you hear me, I'll fire out these questions. Let's roll.
There we go.
Let's go.
All right. 5 questions. Answer them as fast as you can, guys. Don't have to answer them at the same time. Take turns.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the perfect length of time for a haunted attraction walkthrough?
This is a really difficult question, but I would say like between 3 and 7 minutes.
Wow.
I know a lot of people think it should be much longer, and I have reasons, but we're going rapid fire.
Dan?
Ask. I would go with longer, honestly. But
you
I would say much longer. I would say like the 15, 20 minutes.
Next.
Oh,
My dog says 12 minutes exactly.
that's what I thought he said, but I wasn't sure. Nope, 13. Okay, 13 minutes. I get it. Masks, latex or silicone?
I don't know that I have an answer for that because we don't do a whole lot of masks at all.
From like a professional standpoint, I feel like silicone is always like a better choice. But
I have no idea. I like doing when I was doing makeup, like SFX makeup, then that was latex all the way. But I don't have a whole lot of mask experience. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's fair enough.
They're with you.
The most famous question, Dan or Troy? Dan, stick together. Dan, stick together.
I'm already
You're
namesakes. Just you have to, right? Like,
And
that's
you
how it
both have
works.
glasses.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
It's a thing.
Wait, hold on.
Honestly, yeah. There we go.
Hey, Troy has glasses too, so
It's
you can't
over.
you can't
It's
use that.
over.
Troy has glasses too.
I picked Troy. We wouldn't even be on this show without Troy. Troy found us and reached out. So I'm
Fair
Team Troy.
enough. I see where we get to.
And I feel like Chris should have an honorable mention because I'm sure you're fielding a lot of troll comments.
No.
I mean, he did let the words from our mom come through.
I've dealt with two, not so much troll comments, but there were a couple of comments in here that were like, yeah, no, I'm not praying for you and making sure that you get enough zinc because you don't feel good. So I was like,
I saw that one. I was like, oh, that was a good one.
Was that
Should
tonight?
put that one on there. Let's
what?
pray for you. Anyway, question number 4. What do you think is more important, the facade or the final scare in a haunted attraction?
Probably going to say the same thing. Facade.
I would definitely say for a scare attraction, I would say the final scare.
That's fair.
For what we do, facade.
Yeah.
So.
Although I would even say that I feel like the facade sets it up. And like we saw that a lot of Midsummer too, where like you were just walking into a box.
This is
And then,
rapid fire.
sorry. Facade.
No, that's fine. we're here to talk.
Yeah. I would say for ours, we do an even divide between like what the overall look is, because we do like from the outside looking in,
right,
large scape, and then an even divide of what's the detail.
Yeah.
Right.
So just split.
But I also I love being chased with a chainsaw.
See, that's why this is such a great question, because both of them are very crucial in a haunted attraction.
Right.
Last one. This is very Halloween-y. Zombies or vampires?
Zombies or what? Sorry.
Vampires.
Oh, vampires. No, that was my answer. Vampires.
Vampires. Yeah, same. And I think the guy last week gave a really good answer to that, but I know, Dan, you weren't here to hear it. So just like the overall, like the elegance and the bravado that comes with vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Zombies are great. You know, we love a gross undead situation, but vampires are all class.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You guys survived.
You
You
did.
guys survived the
Sorry, I
rapid
derailed
fire
on one of
questions.
those.
Did I pass?
Yes, you got an A+.
With flying colors.
A+.
Oh
Yep.
my god!
Okay, good.
I mean, your name says it all. Did you even have any questions?
Unfair advantage.
But
That's favoritism.
It is
you may-
favoritism.
You may have passed the rapid fire questions, but will you pass the stress of knowing that there are only 94 days until Halloween?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So I did know this because I have a countdown to Halloween sign that I put out at 90 days.
Oh.
And I absolutely lost my shiznit when we came back from midsummer. And I was like, oh, in 5 days, I can literally put my 90-day countdown sign up.
Yep.
And I've done I've made 2 costumes.
Yep.
That's all
I've
I've
made 2 coffins, so there we go.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I
but
said
your
costumes.
Your
and I have
coffins are for
3
your
little
trade
coffins
show.
as planters outside. So
Oh,
I've
okay.
done
Well, you
3
win. You win
coffins
then.
and
You
2
win.
costumes.
You win then.
But they're little. If you had full bodies in your coffins, then you still won.
I do not. No. See?
I know. It's okay.
Puppy dog.
I know.
Sean with the dad jokes.
Nice. Sorry.
No,
Someone had the audacity to walk by outside.
How dare they?
So you mentioned and you mentioned it very, very quickly, but I listened. You said right before we sell. Earlier tonight, you said right before we sell. Are you moving?
I said that?
No.
Oh, okay. 'Cause you had talked about when you were painting your house. You said, "Oh yeah," and right before we sell.
No, I'm not selling.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I don't know
Then I must have heard it wrong.
She'll take this house to the grave.
Yeah, I really will.
To the
Okay.
grave, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can put me in one of my cute little hot pink coffins outside.
There we go. See, there you go.
Yeah, no.
You mentioned that you are going to do a new theme. Are you willing to discuss it or not? Or to
Yes.
reveal it or not?
We
You don't
haven't
have to.
announced it yet, but
Okay.
in an effort to pretend to save money, we are going to bring back Carnival.
But it'll of course be entirely different. So
yeah.
Very nice.
You know.
So yeah, in fact, I think we're gonna end up reusing like 2 of the big elements, and then everything else we're gonna remake anyway. But
right, there you go.
That's all right.
Fine.
We're gonna save money.
Why? Yeah.
Hey,
Nobody will know the wiser.
Yep.
I mean,
It should be really good this year though, because last time we had the one big post. as a-
Whoa. Don't be divulging.
See what happens when
thank
you
you.
talk shop all day?
This was also a dumpster find.
Yeah, Sean wants
Great
your house.
dumpster find.
Sean has a brand new upstairs that he just painted and made it like it's their like family room up there, and he's looking for cool furniture. So keep your doors locked.
Oh, nice. I wish I could give you a recommendation as to where to find it.
What dumpster look in?
Somewhere in East Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah. There you go. Do you guys go to Monster Days?
No, we haven't done any. Literally, Midsummer was the first anything. I've missed Monster Palooza, which happened the same weekend as Midsummer this year.
Right.
Midwest, I would love to go to, but it's just the cost because we don't have anything that's like right here. I'd have to fly. We'd have to fly
right
literally anywhere. Texas,
Yep.
Transworld, anything like that. But yeah, it'd be sick. It'd be fun to go, like especially where there's.
We had a lot of fun
topical.
over at the
Midsummer was good.
Yeah, all of us. I mean, Transworld is awesome, but there's a lot of socializing that goes on, but it's not the type of socializing that you probably want. It's like it's so hectic that the other smaller shows are so much better for that. The Midwest, East Coast, and Texas, they're so much better for actually meeting people and talking to them and getting like you can sit around for an hour on one of the couches in a hotel lobby and meet awesome people and make lifelong things. And then you go to Transworld and you see them later. But it's like, I think the real relationships happen at these smaller, slower shows.
Yeah.
And Transworld used to be that, it
It
used
is.
to be where you could mingle and talk to people for hours. And now it's just hi bye. You know,
Yeah, it's
know
yeah.
that person, or you meet them and you shake their hand, you take the card, and you might talk to them later. There's no, it's a lot. I shouldn't say it's not personal. It's a lot less personal than like the more intimate shows.
I get messages every year. Well, you didn't come by and say hi. I didn't even know you were there. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like you said that you know when there's 50,000 people or 30,000 people.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna see that person one time, maybe, and it's probably from a distance.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
and just happened to
them
knock
versus
up
get
against.
to meet them. Midwest is something I think that's what in March, May. It's an M month, isn't it?
Yeah,
Early
it's
in the season?
Midwest is in the beginning of June. East Coast is at the end of April, and Texas is at the end or middle of July.
Yeah, Texas just happened.
Yeah. Texas is probably the closest to you travel wise.
Which is ironic that Texas will be closer than literally the Midwest.
Right.
But
it might be cheaper on flights. I mean, going into Chicago or DFW is kind of cheap on all aspects. And you guys coming from Denver, that's a good airport too. So you're not getting the smaller airport fees, you know. So you know, you have an international to international airports, so that usually keeps the cost down pretty well. But yeah, and I mean they all cost money, and it's you know, and if you know, I always try to say, you know, pick one every year or one every 2 years, you know, just to, you know, once you go though, you're hooked. Like it's absolutely like, oh, I'm going again.
Well, and we're so lucky because we have like Denver Comic Con here.
Yep.
So people fly in here.
There you go.
But then this year it was like same thing, Midsummer or DCC, and we chose Midsummer this year.
Yeah.
Because you just can't.
You can't do.
I wish.
Yeah. I do know a lot of our haunters that we know personally, and also a lot of just people in the home haunt and a little bit of the pro haunt industry. They are starting to go to Monster Days in Greeley more often. So that is an opportunity to meet some.
Monster Days was like small.
It's getting bigger.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's getting a lot bigger.
It's almost like an off the grid haunter get together.
Yeah, it is
for haunters to get together. So
It
it's
is.
small, but you still got 20 haunters, pro and home, that show up, and and it's
That's super
growing.
cool.
It's growing.
Yeah, it's on my list to go to. I might go next year. I need to look at the dates and all that. But
Well, like you said, that's your best opportunity to actually like meet people and talk shop and or at least have any kind of conversation at all.
Yeah. Some of my best friends and some of my best business relationships and everything have happened at a hotel lobby at 11 o'clock at night.
I love it.
Yep.
That's so cool. We haven't done anything like networking or really working with other people locally.
There's no time
We're
like
still
now.
growing. We're still growing.
There's no time like now, and our industry loves everybody. So
Yes.
you're
That is
you're
very
one of
true.
us. All the time.
One of us.
One of
Yeah,
us.
right. That's exactly what I thought.
So, as we close the show, I did want to let people know where they can find all of your awesome stuff. They have a Facebook page, Scare on Stuart Street, where you can look all their pictures and videos and all their upcoming stuff for this year. They have their awesome YouTube page, which shows all kinds of how they did their stuff. I do love how you make the videos, how you add, it's very visual on the thumbnails. It's very cool.
Thank you.
So you guys are doing a great job on all of that. And they have an Instagram page as well, so you can see more of the stuff through that.
It's 90% Amanda. We're good at different things.
There you go. See?
We're good at it.
So I do see that you only have 22 subscribers on your YouTube. That needs to change. So everybody needs to get on there
Get on there.
and
Cool
and
stuff to watch.
Thank you.
She does
sub
a
it.
good job editing.
I will put it up in the chat as well.
I
So-
promise they'll get better.
No.
And I understand. No more portrait. I have learned.
It just shows more detail.
Oh, it absolutely sucked. As soon as Who did you talk to? He was a photographer, and he did a lot of photo and video for a lot of haunts. He spent a lot of time chatting with Susie, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But he was like, "Have you ever just noticed how much it sucks when things are in portrait?" And I've never.
It's your guy. Troy.
Talk about it. He had like a visceral reaction to portrait, and I was like, "Oh my god, everything I do is terrible." So,
no, it's not terrible. It's the fact that it's the quickest because our life is in portrait mode now because our phones are that way. That it's over the last bunch of years, it's forced us to not change our, when before you'd grab that camera and you hit the button on the top right and you did it and you held it like this. And then all of a sudden you're holding it like this and it's quick to go boom, boom. And so you're sitting there Halloween night going, shit, we haven't filmed anything yet. The first thing you're doing is flipping your phone out just like this.
Exactly right. Yep.
So I don't blame anybody. I just tell people, do your filming the week before Halloween.
Don't be sorry, be better.
Do it a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night before Halloween. Don't wait till Halloween, especially if you have fog. That's the big thing. Is if you have fog in your haunt, you got to watch it like a week straight. You find that night where there's no wind and you're like, call everybody, come over now. Get in.
Please get here immediately. I'll buy food.
Freaking awesome.
Yep. So, but no, you're not doing it wrong. There is no wrong way to film haunts. There is just a better way.
Just better.
You're doing it wrong. Don't let him fill you with false hope. You're doing it wrong.
Okay. That's the advice I'm going to take.
That's okay. You're not. You're going to change. You're going to get better. So
it was Chris. It was Chris Roosh Dozer.
Yep. Yeah. It was Dozer.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Okay. All right. Well.
Well, I think this brings it to a close tonight. Do you guys agree?
Awesome.
I don't know if I want to
Thank
get
you
off.
guys so much. I feel bad. I feel like we talked a lot over Chris and you didn't get to say a whole lot.
He's not supposed to.
He's not supposed to.
I'm just here to sit. I just sit here and look pretty.
Just fill
He's
the
not
screen.
paid to talk.
There you go. He's not.
I'm not paid at all.
Just so we're clear.
That's right.
Well, maybe
Awesome.
next year, Christopher. Maybe next year he can get on the payroll.
Hey, if you get a sponsorship from your PEX vendor,
I don't need these two jokers.
Oh, there you go. Now we're the little people.
Yep.
hopefully he'll remember you.
How quickly does he forget?
Right.
Oh no, I completely remember. I always remember.
Okay. Don't worry, Christopher. When you're stuck in Louisiana, I'm not coming to help you.
Next time you're without
Hey,
an alternative.
nobody came to help me. Now somebody did offer. I will say somebody did offer, but I'm like, no, you just stay 3 hours away. I don't need your help.
I did.
Wow.
I
That's
absolutely
bold.
did.
Awesome. Well, glad we could wrap that one up.
Yeah.
Dan and Amanda,
Yep.
thank you for coming on tonight.
Awesome.
Your haunt's awesome. I can't wait to see what you guys do this year.
Thank you.
And, appreciate that.
You're welcome to come to Denver. Check it out.
Hey, it's only a good 14 hours away from me.
You know,
Easy flight.
look.
Easy flight.
It's not that far.
It's just
Hey,
across
I-
the Oklahoma border for me.
Is it 14 hours by bicycle or?
Hey, I drove 16 hours to Texas. I blew an alternator, but I still drove it, and it's
You
not
made
that.
it. You
It's
made
not
it.
a problem. So
Not that
if I can do it, you can do it, Dan.
And the first person he saw was me.
Wow.
That is
great.
sad to say.
It is sad to say. On that note, what's happening next week, Troy?
What's happening next week? We have yet another amazing walkthrough home haunter. We have Scavenged Souls out of Woodstock, Georgia. This is the complete opposite of Scare on Stuart, who ironically doesn't have any scares on Stuart. They have interactive, fun, spooky stuff. This haunt goes straight in with scares from start to finish. So
Can't wait.
yeah, it will be
Super
awesome.
Cool.
So we're going to Georgia next week.
I can't wait. I
can't
love
wait to
me
see it.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Troy, I'm gonna
That's only 8 hours away from me. Thank you.
because I'm have wicked lag. I'm gonna have you hit the end stream button. But with that being said, thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. We will see you next week on a fantastic haunt Halloween. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, leg man.
Bye.
Bye.